Hello, this is a speed paint of the illustration of Fantasy High made. So let's get started. This video is going to be a bit different, mostly because it's going to be in 3 parts. The first part is the sketch, the second part is all about the coloring, and the third is about lighting and rendering. I'm also using a script for the first time ever. So when I was starting digital painting, which was only a few years ago when I first got my iPad, I looked up a bunch of videos about how people drew digitally, and one thing I could never understand is how people rendered and made like a piece look finished. And I hope with this video series I could possibly help other people who are struggling with that. Though this is just about the sketch, like I said. So for this drawing, I had a rough sketch that took like 5 minutes, and then I didn't touch it for months, and then I came back and completely redid it. I haven't ever drawn this many people in a scene before, so that's where the challenge came with the sketch. How to draw all the characters without making it feel too crowded, but also making sure that all of their personalities stood out and that one person didn't take the spotlight or look like the main character. Since, this is Fantasy High, there isn't really like one main character, it's about the whole group. For people who aren't familiar with this drawing, this is fan art of the show Dimension 20, which is a D&D show that has several different campaigns. This is from Fantasy High freshman year, specifically the episode called Arcade Ambush, where this might be a slight spoiler if you haven't watched it, but there's the nerdy character Biz Glitterdew, which is the fairy flying up in the middle, ambushes the party in the arcade at the mall. So to prepare for this illustration idea that I had, I watched that episode again, which I'll link it in the description. All of the Fantasy High freshman years on YouTube, so I would highly recommend stop watching this video and go watch that instead. And I figured out what I wanted each of the characters to be doing, and all of the things that they're doing sort of happen at different points in the episode, where like Adine gets frightened and has a panic attack and runs away, and Fabian gets sucked into one of the video games, and Riz gets trapped in the crystal. They all happen, but at different points. And the poses were kind of difficult to pin down, but I had the wiki up of all of the character designs, which I'll link the official character design artists in the description. So that took a lot of guesswork out of the design. And in the episode, Biz's powers are illusion-based mostly. He warps the floor and things like that. So while I did the perspective of the background, I didn't worry too much about how the characters fit in the space. But I did notice that Riz and his crystal in the back was too small and wasn't getting as much attention as I wanted him to, so I made him a bit bigger and added his face in the crystal shards. And I also didn't worry too much about the perspective of people next to each other, because Gorgug, the half-orc, is really tall, while Fig and Adine are a lot shorter than him, and they're all sort of at different points in the 3-dimensional space, so I didn't worry about that too much. I just wanted to make sure that the composition itself looked nice, and for the background I looked up references of arcade games, and I also used the dungeon map that they used in the game during combat as reference as well. I took some screenshots on my phone, mostly for the palimpsest, the sort of crystals in the background, and sort of the background base colors, which I'll get into in that video. For the perspective, I used a 1-point perspective pointing at Biz, and used the Procreate feature drawing assist to make the straight lines. And I actually think I have another video going more in depth on like how I use perspective. But my sketching process is basically having that super loose, rough sketch and then refining it over and over again. After I knew where I wanted to put everything, and I did the perspective stuff on a new layer, then I redid the background on a different layer. So I had the people and the background on separate layers. And then I did a warp effect, like the liquefy tool, on the background, kind of circling around Biz. And that's pretty much it for the sketch. I'll see you in the next video where I do the color and the line art. If you have any questions, let me know. But I hope you enjoy the rest of the time-lapse. Bye-bye.
Bye.